Hello, it's Guillaume here. So I wanted in this first video to give you an overview of my Optimate Plate and how it works. But first, why I developed this product, it was to make the link finally between your energy and macro needs and the food you want to eat for your different meal. And then it's going to match the portion of the food with your macro needs. So let's go rapidly on how it works. So on the left hand side here, you're going to input all your details. So here, name, date of birth. So I take an example for myself: weight, estimated body fat, height, and gender. And then you select one of the models to calculate your BMR. So either you select one of the two formula here, or you can even input your estimated BMR if you get it from a scale, for example. So here you got your BMR calculated, and then you're going to select your activity level. So here you have different options, and then you're going to select your calorie needs. So this can be in absolute value. So for example, 250 calorie deficit, 500 calorie deficit, or in percentage. Or here you can have in calorie surplus. So when you heard like 500 calorie deficit, so you can select easily here, and it's going to recalculate your energy needs for the day. So for myself, I'm going to get muscle gain, so a moderate surplus of 10% calorie. And then here you can compensate your previous day meal. So for example, here I selected the food I had yesterday, and then you can see here so all the values regarding my needs. And then here, so you can go and then select your different way in order to adjust your macro today. So for example, if yesterday you didn't have enough proteins, then if you select one of the two adjustment here, so if it's daily carryover or energy balance formula, then it's going to take the macro of yesterday and adjust the macro of today in order to compensate your yesterday's needs that you didn't feel. Then you can select your for your macros, so the proteins calculations, if it's based on the weight or on the lean muscle mass, and then your protein. So this is per kilo weight of per kilo weight of body fat of body weight. So here you can have from 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight up to 2.5. So for me, I'm going to select 2 grams per kilo, and then the fat. So here you select. I'm going to select the standard fat, but then you can select different value. So this is based on the total amount of calories. And then you have different other parameters for the saturated fat, the ratio mono polyunsaturated fat, omega-3 and omega-6 ratio. So here we got my macro calculated. So here we got what I need for today. And then, so the next step here is to select the food you want for each of the different meals. So I'm going to do that in a accelerated mode. Okay, so here I finished to select the food for my different meal. So you can see here you have the portion that you can select, and here you have like different volumes, so you don't need to weight anymore your food. You can just represent it by volume, and then here you can select like banana, apple, avocado, and you can obviously design your own volume or fruit vegetable size in your in another tab that I will show you in the video after that. So here you have also different other parameters, so you can select your portion as the one you selected here, or if it's a weight portion by default, or if you want a default volume portion, and then you're going to and then the algorithm is going to recalculate all of the different portion. So the algorithm is based on approximately more than 390,000 calculation for all the different meals. So every time you change a food or a portion, 390,000 calculation are done, and then the algorithm AI powered is going to select the best portion of each food in order to match your macro and energy needs. You can also select a different recipe here, so you can either also choose a favorite food, so you can preset your favorite breakfast, for example, and then or select one of the recipe here, so you can have the same for lunch and dinner. So you have like a 50 recipe, and then you can select one of the recipe. So here in colors you have the PRAL, which is the acidity of the food, so which is very important for your health. So and here you got the legend of the PRAL. So when it's negative, it's good. When it's positive, it's more acid. So less good for your overall health. So here I'm going to select back my food that I choose. Here, and then I'm going to get back my portion that I choose here. Okay, so one of the Other cool feature here is that you can select the amount of sugar comparing to the carbs. So here, for example, for the first one, so I want to reduce the amount of sugar comparing to the total carbs. So here I can select low sugar, for example, and then we can see that so we're going to have like more bread here and less apple. So the same here for my lunch. So I can select like 20% moderate, and then for my dinner I can select, for example, maybe 35% sugar comparing to my total carbs. So here so here you can see the different results. You can have like you have the different graph. You have the expected value and the actual value calculated by my optimal plate for each of the macro. So here you have also like the all the across the total different meals that you can see here. And then you also have like all the minerals, the vitamins, the carbs distribution, and then the fat distribution. And then here it shows you of how much of your daily needs is going to fit. So here you get also like the different parameters, results like the weight, obviously protein, fat, carbs, calorie, satiety index, glycemic index, insulin load, PDCA, so this is the quality of the proteins, and then the PRAL, which is again the acidity of the food, and also the price here. So you can also choose to distribute your meal by different approach. So here I got a balanced approach, but you can select like for example, intermittent fasting approach. So it's going to redistribute the calories and the macros across the lunch and the dinner. And then we calculate all the different portions in order to match your macro needs. So for example, you can also select like a different distribution across the lunch and dinner. You can select, for example, just breakfast, or you can also create your own distribution. So for example, here, one of the distribution is like no lunch. And you can see, so again, 390,000 calculation more in order to find the best portion for each of the different food you select. You can also choose, so I'll go back in a balanced approach. So you can also choose to include at least one quantity of each food or not. So here, if you don't include, so you can see here, for example, of the first one, in order to match better the macro, you're going to remove 2 of the food. But then here we can select it back. Okay, so one really cool thing also is that you can send all the results on your phone. So you can just click here, so send me my optimal plate, and it's going to compile all of the different results and graph, and then send it back. So if I take my email here, then you can see the results and of all of the different food and proportion for each of the different meals. So in more and more detail, all your needs, and then you got the different graph, and then the results for each of the different parameters. How much of your needs is achieved, and what you need to do for each of the parameter in order to fill the. Also, you can select for your today's meal. You can select, for example, if you know that you're going to have a protein shake, so you can enter your protein shake here. So you're going to select here, sorry, the volume, so banana, and then you're going to you can include that into your today's calculation. So you're going basically to remove what you are sure that you're going to eat. So here's my protein shake, and it's going to recalculate. So yeah, you already have 35 grams of proteins, 12 of fat, and 24 of grams. And then it's going to remove that from your today's calculation. So one other thing you can do is to find the best approach. So by clicking here, okay, so here my PRAL went through all of the different meal distribution that I have here, and then you find the best one. So it's the high carb post workout breakfast approach. So which gives those distribution for the different food and portion. All right, I think I've covered everything here. I'm going to do another video just down there in order to show you all the different tabs that are available in my Ultimate Plate for more insights and more insight of how you can configure for the best use. Thank you.